नमो वितरागाय
नमो वितरागाय
नमो वरिहंताणं
नमो हरिहंताणं
नमो सिद्धाणं
नमो
नमो
सिद्धाणं
सिद्धाणं
नमो आयर्याणं
नमो आर्याणं
आयर्याणं
नमो वत्सयाणं
नमो
नमो
वत्सायाणं
वज्रायणं
नमो लोये सवसाहुणं
नमो
नमो
लोये
वै
सवसाहुणं
सर्वसाहुणं
ऐसो पंचन मुक्कारो
ऐसो पंचनमुखारो
सौवपावपणासनो
सर्वभावपणासनो
मंगलाणं च सुवेसेन
मङ्गलां च सौमेसे
पद्मं हवै मंगलम्
परमं हवै मङ्गलम्
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ओम नमः शिवाय
ॐ नमः शिवाय
जय सच्चिदानंद
जय सच्चिदानंद।
Okay, Jai Satyanand. If any, does anybody have a question to ask, or we just proceed?
પુલિનાનજી,
Hmm.
I have a question કે આપણે કહીએ કે તમે જ્ઞાનમાં આગળ વધો તે સંસારનું બધું જોવાઈ જશે, એ સાંભળેલું છે બટ સમજમાં નથી આવતી.
Come again. જ્ઞાનમાં આગળ વધવું હોય તો
જ્ઞાનમાં
સંસાર
આગળ વધવું હોય તો તમે જ્ઞાન પર ફોકસ રાખો
હા
તો સંસારનું બધું જાતે જ બધું ગોઠવાઈ જશે.
ઓકે
will be taken care of. How
હા
does that work? કારણ કે એ સમજમાં નથી આવતી.
Okay, very good question. I will just try to remain in English because generally
Okay,
we have
yeah.
targeted, and
Okay.
we have targeted this as a English satsang,
Okay,
and it will be useful for people and especially the youth.
sure.
Huh?
Do you want me
Very
to ask
no,
the
no, it's
question
good
in
question. I'll repeat. It's a good question that normally it is told that if you remain in Gnan, the Vyavhar or the worldly dealings will get taken care of. How does it work? That is what Kaushal wants to understand. It's a very nice question, and the answer to that question is given in the third Agna. After Gnan Vidhi, we get 5 Agnas, and the third Agna addresses this issue. Dada says that now that you have become the pure soul or the Shuddhatma, you are separate from the Prakriti. And who will take care of the workings of this Prakriti? So Dada here unfolds a very deep or sort of hidden reality that this world works through a regulatory power called Vyavasthit Shakti, or in English, Dada Bhagwan termed it as scientific circumstantial evidences. Dada says this work was based on scientific circumstantial evidences. So from now onwards, all the dealings, all the requirements of file number 1 will be taken care by this Vyavasthit Shakti or regulatory power or scientific circumstantial evidences. Just to elaborate this, Dada gives a very simple example of making of tea. If tea is to be prepared, so many things are required in the preparation of tea. You need milk, water, vessel, lighter, stove, etc. And you are also one of the person making the tea is also one of the requirements. Now, if one of the ingredients is not there, then tea cannot be made. So if a simple thing like preparation of tea requires the coming together of so many ingredients, we only feel or we have the ego that I made the tea. Actually, we have not made tea. We alone have not made tea. Coming together of so many ingredients or evidences has made tea. In the same manner, whatever events or incidences that take place in our life, they take place with the coming together of many evidences or circumstances. And only after all these circumstances come together does an event take place. Now, how these circumstances come together is what we will also look a little further down. But just to understand the primary or the basic definition of Vyavasthit Shakti is that evidences come together. How do they come together? Do they come haphazardly? No. They come very scientifically. Based on the causes we have laid in the past, they come in the present life. They come scientifically, and only when they all come together does an event take place. So, what Dadaji says is that in the past, we have laid down many causes, previous births past. So all those effects are anyway going to materialize, and circumstances will come and events will take place of file number 1. Now, this is a very basic understanding. Little depth and little more application of this understanding we will see little further ahead. I'm just starting from the very basic, that this world runs on the coming together of circumstances. We are not the independent doer, but one of the doers. Hence, you can relax that file number 1, whatever it needs, will get taken care of. But we must remember one thing, that it will not happen automatically. We have to also put in our normal worldly affairs. For example, if someone is studying, then he cannot leave it to Vyavasthit Shakti, that if it is in my Vyavasthit, I will pass and I will get good rank or good percentage. No. One has to put in his normal efforts of studying hard, taking all the best efforts, and then whatever the result is the based on Vyavasthit. Same way, if someone is trying for a job, he cannot say, if it is there in my Vyavasthit, I'll get a good job. One must put in all the possible efforts. Then, whether he gets a good job to his liking, an average job, or still struggles to find a job, all that is then the result is based on Vyavasthit. Otherwise, what will happen? People will misuse this Agna. People may say that when he goes out of the house, he will not lock the door. Leave it to Vyavasthit. If there's going to be a burglary or robbery, it will take place. Otherwise, it will not take place. What is the need of locking the door? No, that is not true. While driving also, let me drive recklessly. And if this accident is going to happen, it's going to happen. What's the point? No, that's not the way. Drive carefully, and after that, if accident takes place, is this thing. Similarly, in your worldly life, take care of family, children, put in your best efforts in your job, and after that, whatever happens is Vyavasthit. In fact, we may be expecting a promotion in the job. We don't get a promotion, or we expect an extra increment or a bonus, something. It is not given to us, but it is given to someone else. At times, we don't get credit for the work we have done. Things, the puzzles or disturbances that arise, questions that the intellect raises, why this, why this? At that time, we can use this third Agna and say, Vyavasthit, you have put in your best efforts, but you have got limited results or good results. That is based on Vyavasthit. This is how Vyavasthit has to be used. Basically, what happens is sometimes this helps us to remain equanimous or vitral. When things go our way, your project works very well, children are okay, or things happen but turn out very well, even while cooking, for example, the dish works out very well. If things go out very well, we feel very happy, we feel very elevated, I have done this. And when things don't go our way, we feel sad, hurt. Now, using this Agna, we can remain equanimous or vitral in both situations. If things turned out very well, we must remember we had all favorable circumstances working towards our end result, and we have got the desired result. Or if things don't go your way, you can still have the understanding that one of the evidences was missing, hence I did not get the desired result. Leave it to Vyavasthit and move ahead. So this Vyavasthit Agna further down helps us to remain equanimous, or as we call vitral. If good things happen, observe. Good circumstances, favorable, all came together. What we call as the result of punya or merits. and things don't go away, then observe that it is a result of some uh, demerits or pap. The use of this Agna helps us to remain equanimous. I'm now trying to share, now that you have raised a very valid point, uh, how we can use this third Agna in our day-to-day life. We have known that it happens by Vyavasthit, but uh, how we can use it in our day-to-day life is what I'm trying to share now. Everything runs so very perfectly. There is not a iota of any corruption, you can say, or disturbance. Only if some hurt or hardship is to come to you, will it come to you. Otherwise, it will not come to you. In fact, Dadaji says, even a mosquito, you may not face that situation much abroad. Mosquitoes, even a mosquito cannot bite you unless uh, you have some account to settle with it. Hmm? By knowing this, that the world runs very perfectly, the world runs in total order, it is not chaotic or haphazard. It can free us from unnecessary fears that sometimes come to us. That okay, if it is there, it will come. If it is not there, it will not come. So I need not worry unnecessarily. So it can free us from fears. Nobody has the independent power to interfere in anybody else's life. We did not fear that he will do this or he will do that, because the world runs on Vyavasthit. So this knowledge at times will help us to be free from fears, what we call as bhai. Now, all these are different incidences or life situations. Depending on the life situations, the appropriate viewpoint or appropriate application of this Agna can be done. Okay. One more application I'm just trying to share is at times in life we have to take major decision. We'll have to take a major decision, and we have two options. I could do option one or I could do option two. Hmm? Say we have to marry girl or boy A and B, or you have to take a job A or B, or you have to buy a house or a location A or B. In such situations, we normally look at the options, the advantages and disadvantages of both the options. After weighing the options, good and bad of the advantages and disadvantages of either A and B, we select option A. And some months down the line, you feel, oh, that was a wrong decision. I should have really gone for option B. Now, when that happens and the mind is agitated, the intellect is also agitated, uh, we feel very bad that we should have selected the previous option. To silence the intellect, we can use this Agna of Vyavasthit. The rephrasing of this would be, whatever has happened is right or justice. What is called in Gujarati, Banyu Tej Nyay. Je bane che te nyay. Whatever has happened is right or it is just. Because we have had that type of a account to settle. So at that point of time, we took that decision, which today, in hindsight, we feel is bad. But gracefully accept it, that nothing goes wrong. Whatever has happened is right or just. So that will silence intellect. It will make you peace. And if required, you can start working on the corrective action. Okay, if I'm not satisfied with this, what best I can do in the given situation? So that's put you in a positive frame of mind and stops the unnecessary chatter of the intellect, that you took a wrong decision, you took a wrong decision, you took a wrong decision. That type of chatter will stop by the application of this Agna of Vyavasthit. Whatever has happened is justice. One more application, if you can look at this Agna, is sometimes some people are very insistent, they want to get things done their way, according to their desire. What we call in Gujarati as ધાર્યું કરાવવાની ટેવ, એના ધાર્યા પ્રમાણે કરવું હોય. They are insistent or adamant, it should be done this way, this is the right way. And for that, they may sometimes even manipulate situations. They may use deceit, kapat જેને કહેવાય. They may use deceit so that they get things done that way. At times, if they are very adamant and insistent, it can even lead to conflicts between two persons, because they want their way, the other person wants his way. Now, to avoid this unnecessary trouble of conflict or deceit, we can use this Agna, because ultimately all happenings will occur according to Vyavasthit, sort of just what we call as predestined. So why are you resorting to unnecessary wrong means? Don't go for deceit. It will ultimately happen the way it's going to happen. You are making yourself, putting yourself in trouble by using deceit or getting into conflicts with people. So if we watch this tendency of ourselves, this application of the Agna will hold us back from the use of deceit or getting into conflicts with anybody. These are some applications. Anyone has a question in between? I just pause.
Pulinanandji, a follow-up to that is that
Yes.
when we do our daily work and we are doing, say we are working on a project, and you did do your best at that point and you achieved a certain result. Now, I understand that the result the result comes as because of all the circumstances that were there at that point in time. But there is always this feeling that should I have tried harder, I would have achieved a much better result. Or I could have done something much better. So let me try again next time harder. So you always push yourself to the next level. Now, when you keep on doing that, I know the situation is not the same every time, but it's similar. It's not same, but it is similar. So considering that, how do we deal with it? Because the more you push yourself, the more you get engrossed in that project or in work or whatever it is. Whatever task you're doing, you're more and more engrossed there to push yourself to the next level and do it better. Doing that, does that take us away from Gnan? Or
yeah, well, that depends on you. That depends on you. See whether you are. I see someone's noise coming. Mahendra, someone's ring is coming. Okay. See whether you're going away from Gnan or not, it depends on you, because pushing yourself hard is one thing. Whether that pushing out yourself hard is affecting you in your dealings with other people else. I get a lot of noise. Someone is trying to join, Mahendra. Okay. At times, I have found, so if your dealings with other people get disturbed, you are not able to remain vitrag, then it is affecting you. There are two ways of looking at it. You can always make it as a learning exercise, that in this project, you put in this effort, you got this result, you feel that now if I put in more effort, I can get a better this thing. So that desire, intention and learning exercise you can always keep, so that the next time you can good effort. Now, whether to put in a hard work or not, you can, one suggestion from my end is that always have the desire that I want to do something better. Keep that desire at the back of your mind. Keep the desire of the learning exercise that this time we could do this, 1, 2, 3 improvements, whatever improvements you have found as a learning exercise. I want to serve, do a good job. Next time I will do 1, 2, 3, 4 and leave it at that. Just leave it at. So what will happen? You have taken the learning exercise. You have not pushed yourself so hard that you get totally engrossed. Because getting engrossed totally on one side will pull you away, pull your jagrati away from remaining equanimous in other aspects, in your relations, for example, or your health, wealth, career, other things. Career is one end, but the other part gets disturbed, which is not desirable, because as I said, that the result in your next project also is based on Vyavasthit, but you cannot still leave it to Vyavasthit. So we have to balance the two. Take this as learning exercise. Harbor the inner desire that I want to give the best output next time. I want to do an improvement. Leave it at that, and surge, you can say, no, casually put in your effort. By doing a casual efforts, you will also improve. At that time, you will not get stretched out, and you will be relaxed. That is very, very important, because I have personally experienced getting too much engrossed in work, then it strains and draws away so much of mental and physical energy, and it has a bearing on the other aspects of our life, with the family or with friends or other places. So that needs to be looked into. That looks. Who is coming? This every time this calls are coming.
But Pulinanandji,
Yes.
the
Pooja is trying to join, I guess. Can you send her an invite?
Yeah, we already sent like 5 invites, so try again.
Yeah, she's keep calling, that's why.
Okay, can you message Karin? Yeah, I'll message Karin after.
Pulinanandji.
Yes,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Yeah. The question that I had is that, say you are a manager at right now. You are at a manager level. You just got promoted to manager, so you want to do a better job at all the things that you have been doing and your new role that you have been given, right? Because you have a team to look after and you want the best for your team. So that is now your role because of your title. While doing so, you also want to keep on learning and be the best you can for yourself. Of course, pushing more at in my career would of course help me grow health, wealth, all of the other things. But the question arises, how much do I push myself to go to the next level and grow?
I said very clearly that balance you have to strike. Okay, basically it should not affect your separateness. That I'm Kaushal and the doer is that I'm Shuddhatma, and Kaushal is the doer. That if with that separateness awareness, whatever Kaushal wants to do, Kaushal is free to do. Just talk to it, remain separate from it, without getting disturbed. He's not doing properly, I'm not doing properly. Kaushal has brought some level of enthusiasm, Kaushal has brought some level of ambition. Let Kaushal do it. But he should do all that without getting disturbed, without losing his equanimity.
Now, equanimity gets disturbed once in a while when you are trying and things just don't go your way. So you get a little bit disturbed, but then you come back again to your spot and you're calm again.
Then it's fine.
That keeps on happening. But
then it's fine.
But it does not happen.
Who karta chu? I am the doer, and if I do this, this will happen. That you must keep it instrumentally. It may happen, may not happen.
Yeah.
Bas. If you are able to do that, then you carry on. Na? Yeah. Basically, you have to observe Kaushal, see what it wants to do, and let it do. You should not lose track of the Agnas. As simple as that. If you are able to remain in the Agnas, it's fine.
it's like
let Kaushal do what he wants to do.
in the morning we do pray that I want to be in the Agnas. I pray for that. And
Then
then I
pray
start,
it is, we are much beyond that prayer level now. Now we are
yes,
at the Purushat level. We
yeah,
must be seeing Shuddhatma everywhere. We must be able to take things lightly also and work hard. Kaushal has brought that type of ambition, hard working, and knowledge. And so let Kaushal do all that. Kaushal, the doer is separate and you are separate. That awareness should remain,
yes,
because real happiness will come from that awareness.
yes.
Achievement is all, I tell you, achievement is only temporary. You will get one level of satisfaction, but it may not be a lasting satisfaction.
Pulinanandji, I agree 100%. The thing is that when we are doing the Purusharth of Kaushal is doing it and I'm Shuddhatma, that stays for a certain period of time. Then when you are engrossed in your project or work that you're doing at that point, it comes and goes. It comes and goes. So
That will happen. That will happen.
sometimes at that point, I think I'm like, I had that stability for a while, and I pushed myself a little bit more, and I lost that. I stopped seeing
That will happen. That will happen. That is not this thing. That will happen. If you are in work, you may not able to remember the separateness. That will take time, because you have brought overriding more. Now, this is called more for or ambition. So since you have brought, that will get exhausted. That is all right. Basically, you must be able to see Shuddhatma in others. You must be able to see others as non-doers. You must not hurt others. Be obliging. All those Vyavhar, those are the external Vyavhar symptoms. Internally separateness.
Okay,
These
then
two parameters, you have to balance yourself.
okay, then based on that measurement, that's very true. So based on that measurement, every time, for considering myself, every time I push myself harder, I try to do that, but it also seems that my Jagruti has reduced a little bit. That's what I think. I might not be thinking correctly, or I might not be.
Basically, whether your Jagruti is inner happiness, inner stability is there or not. That is the simple, मापदंड जेने कहेवाय measurement.
At the end of the day, yes. At the end of the day, after everything is said and done, and I'm all up and down and everything, I'll say no. But Kaushal, you have to understand.
So that self-talk you continue, explain to Kaushal the reality, and gradually he'll come down to some balance. He'll strike a balance between ambition and Gnan.
Okay.
That will come by trial and error.
Okay.
They'll come by trial and error. But basically, you have to balance the two ambitions: Kaushal's ambition of career and your present ambition of to remain separate.
Yes.
I tell you, nothing like separateness. The inner happiness and peace of observing what's happening is such a wonderful experience. That happiness far exceeds any happiness you can get from any amount of career growth, any amount of appreciation or promotion. Because that is based on merits or punya, that promotion. And when that does not happen, the hurt that will be equally aggressive or equally strong. But if you have remained equanimous during the promotion, you will equally remain equanimous during when things don't work out your way. And anyway, things will, if you have brought some success, it will work out. So try your level best without losing your equanimity. That is the balance you have to strike, basically.
Okay.
That is the balance one has to strike.
Okay.
And you come by experience. Basically, two bhavnas, nothing much. That the Agnanman bhi rehu chhe, remain in the Agnas. At the same time, Kaushal has brought this. I want to observe and let Kaushal do the work. So you remain in the driver's seat. Kaushal is the doer. You are the observer. That should, I think, answer your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
So, going little ahead on the application of this. Anybody else wants to ask anything in between before I go ahead? We are looking at the applications of the third Agna today. Okay. So, one more thing, at times we feel why this person is behaving like this. Now, Dadaji has explained one wonderful thing, that every person has brought his or her intrinsic nature. જેને આપણે પ્રકૃતિ સ્વભાવ કહીએ. A human being has its own nature. Similarly, the external world, the weather, for example, when it is going to rain, it's going to rain. Some people may like it, some people may not like it. Some people enjoy rains to get wet. Some people detest it. I don't want to get wet. So nature also works automatically. Human beings have their own nature. Now, this piece of information or this piece of knowledge, if you can say so, how does it help us? When somebody doesn't behave properly, and at times we get frustrated, why is this man talking like this? Why is he behaving like this? Now, this may be in the family, this may be outside the family, at your workplace, in your friends, wherever it may be. Now, whenever such a thing arises, why is this man doing like this? Whenever the intellect is disturbed with such type of questions, it can be, sort of assuaged by the saying that everyone is in its own nature. In Gujarati, we call it Sau Sauna Swabhavma છે. Repeat, Sau Sauna Swabhavma છે. Or in English, everyone is in its own nature. So that's his nature. That's his Prakriti. That's why he's behaving like that. The moment you put this sentence in front of you, automatically such disturbing thoughts will go away. That why he's doing like this? Because that's his nature. So that's the way it's going to happen. Do not get disturbed. Immediately you will become very calm. At times, we have some behavioral expectations from people. He should behave like this. He should talk like this. It may be in any way of any of our working life, whether at the office or at home. If people behave according to expectations, it is also vyavasthit. If people don't behave according to our expectations, that too is also vyavasthit. So using of this Agna, at times, now these are different scenarios that I'm trying to list out. And in different scenarios, how we can apply the third Agna is what I'm trying to share today. So in a scenario where our behavioral expectations, typically it happens in the home with the family members. If they are met, it's vyavasthit. If they are not met, we normally get hurt. We normally get disturbed. This hurt or disturbed has not to be taken as a pain. We take it as a dukkha. Don't take it as pain. Take it as tapa. Tapa, what we can loosely call in English as penance. There are two types. One is external tap and one is the internal tap. So take it as the inner tap, because that is the fourth pillar of moksha. To attain moksha or liberation, four things are necessary. First is Gnan, what we can loosely call as knowledge, then darshan, then charitra, and fourth is tapa. Now we have got the first three. That I am the pure soul, we have understood. So that is darshan. Understanding is darshan. At I am the pure soul, that experience is gnana. With the help of these two, we are able to be observer and seer, gnata drashta. So that is charitra. And the fourth pillar is tapa. Tapa is penance, or whatever inner turmoil or burning that we have. Now that is bound to happen, because whatever is happening with us today is based on what are the causes we have laid down in the past, or whatever karmas we have done in the past. So we are getting the effects. Now, today we have received the Gnan of going to moksha. Previously, we had the Gnan of enjoying life in this world. So there's going to be a conflict between what we have brought, the understanding we have brought, and the understanding we have got today. This conflict is tapa. And tapa will always remain because you are turning your desire or opinions now. And they are useful. They are useful. Tap will happen, and will happen. So don't run away from it. You should now, with this knowledge and inner desire of going to moksha, of squaring off accounts, you must welcome tapa. Because tapa will help to clear out the old understanding. Okay? So take it as tapa. When things or behaviors of others don't go according to our expectations, accept it with grace and allow it to pass. Because you are strengthening the fourth pillar of tapa, Gnana Darshan. And the more you strengthen, you will have the capacity to be observer and knower. You will be able to observe things the way they are happening and let go. The level of accepting things the way they are will increase. Otherwise, if you don't have that level of acceptance, you always are in the mode of changing people, changing behaviors of others, etc. So we are able to equanimously accept things the way they are. It improves our observer knower awareness. જ્ઞાતા દ્રષ્ટાની જાગૃતિ વધી જાય. So accept this as tapa. The application of this third agna, when behaviors don't go according to our desire, is useful. It enhances the tapa, which increases our charitra level. See, we basically will have to settle all our accounts. Based on whatever is happening today with us, we will come to know what are the causes we have laid in the previous lives, which has brought about these type of effects in the present life. This Agna helps us to understand the causes that we have laid based on the effects that we are experiencing today. Whatever we are experiencing today is the result of the causes we have laid in the past. So Dadaji used to say, there was an aphorism or a sutra that to observe the seeds that we have sown in our ignorance is vyavasthit. Just observe. And by observing, it will also help us in squaring up of accounts. A crooked boss or an unfavorable neighbor or some unfavorable situations, small things we immediately will be able to square up. Chalo, is up chukte thai gyo, account is cleared. This Vyavasthit Agna will help us. Remember, the first two Agnas helps us to remain in the pure soul awareness directly. And the remaining two Agnas, the third Agna of Vyavasthit and the fourth Agna of Sambhavinikar, they help us from the Vyavhar point of view, worldly dealings point of view. While doing our normal worldly activities or dealings, how to remain equanimous under trying situations, also under favorable situations. So these two Agnas focus or help us in remaining equanimous or vitrag in Vyavhar. So all this application that I am talking about will be related to Vyavhar. As it is, people are going to hurt you by speech or by behavior. Now this Agna says that depending on whatever good or bad we have done by way of charging, those much effects will come. If you're destined to hear 7 bad words, you will hear 7 bad words or 7 insults. You will neither get 6 nor will you get 8. 7 means only 7. So accept them with a smile. Inner wise, not outside. Inner wise, if you are able to accept all the bitterness or all the hurtful behavior of the other people, people who don't have this Gnan, they also get hurt by others' behavior. They cry, repent, and accept the behavior. We, with the help of this Agna, can now accept the same hurtful behavior with a smile. This Agna helps us to accept the hurtful behavior with a smile because we know that only that much of hurt will come as much it is there in our account. હિસાબ છે એટલું જ આવશે, એથી વધારે નહીં આવે. એટલે આપણે હસીને ઝેર પી શકીએ છીએ. We can accept the hurtful behavior with the help of a sign. And that too, whose hurtful behavior? It is the behavior to file number 1. We have to remain in our Shuddhatma state, pure soul. Whatever is happening to file number 1. So we have to talk to the file number 1 and tell him, take it easy. Only that much of hurt will come. That is in your account. Nothing more, nothing less. So with this type of self-talk and the use of this third Agna will help to stabilize file number 1. And one more application. It helps us to remain in the present. Now this is a very important thing. To remain in the present moment. That means our awareness, our chitta must be wherever, whatever we are doing. If you're eating, over there, in the present. Bath, reading, work, whatever. To remain in the present. What happens otherwise? Otherwise, we have a tendency to go in the past or go in the future. This Agna will help us remain because whatever has happened in the past is gone. And whatever is gone cannot be changed. So if it cannot change, why are we lingering in the past? One small example is that if a near and dear one of us has passed away a year ago, and we are sitting in Satsang or in a meeting somewhere, and if thoughts of that person keep coming to us, all memories keep coming to us, they are unnecessarily pestering us and spoiling our present. So one remedy is, when such things happen, immediately tell it get out. Tell the thoughts to get out from here. Why are you pestering? What has happened has happened. It's not going to change. So get out. By saying that, you can again come back in the present moment. The thoughts of the past can be driven away. Or if it still pesters, then you can tell the mind, tell the thoughts that don't come now. Come at 10 in the night. Or give it some suitable appointment time when you are free. Tell it that I will address all your issues and whatever you want to say at so and so time. Don't disturb me now. By doing that, you can remain in the present moment. You can do out your daily activities or routine work, office or at home without being disturbed by thoughts of the past. That will help you. This remedy will help you to remain focused in the present in whatever you're doing. And in spite of these two, if the thoughts still come and come and come, then the last and final alternative, one of them is to just simply observe it. Observe the thoughts as they come and go, as they come and go. Do not get engrossed into it. Tell it, come, come, come. What next? What next? What next? So if you keep on doing that, you're also able to remain in the present, and disturbing thoughts of the past will not trouble you. Times we also tend to get into the future. Someone has a 3-year-old child, a young one, a daughter, then in times that some people start worrying, what will happen in future? Will he get proper education? Will he get married, etc., etc. The other says you must worry or think about 2-3 days in advance, not 20 years in advance. If such things come, leave it aside. Say it will take whatever is there in the verse, it will take place. Or sometimes for somebody, not you people are young, but some middle-aged people, they see an old or a senior person suffering from, say, major illness, say paralysis or something, and seeing his pitiable condition, no one to look after him, he also starts worrying, what will happen to me when I get old? Who will look after me? Nobody is there to look after me. For such things, Dadaji says, leave it to Vyavasthit. The future is in the hands of Vyavasthit. It will be taken care of. With this understanding, one can be free from the worries of the future. So by leaving things to Vyavasthit, you can be free from the future, and by the other means, you can be free from the past. So both this will help you to remain in the present moment. It's a very good thing, a very good purusharth, which all of you can do it. It is a very helpful thing. And there's an aphorism or a sutra on that one who remains in the present is called a gnani. One who remains in the present is a gnani. Gnani Purush always remains in the present because he always has this awareness of the Vyavasthit Shakti. Now, who has created this Vyavasthit? The Vyavasthit of you, me, or the individual has been created by one himself. We ourselves have created a Vyavasthit by laying causes or doing bhavas. I want this, I want that, in our ignorant, when we were not having the self-awareness that I am the pure soul in our previous birth, we had laid down many causes. So we have laid down those causes whose effects we are experiencing now. The point is, we have laid down the causes, and hence we have brought this type of Vyavasthit. So we are wholly responsible to whatever is happening to us. The knowledge of Vyavasthit Agna helps us to start taking responsibility. We have to stop the blame game. Otherwise, we have a tendency to blame. He did like this, so this happened to me. He is like that, so this is happening. Don't blame others. Others are pure nimitts. We are the ones who have drawn those nimitts to execute either the pain or the pleasure that comes to us. This Agna helps us to see others as instrument. They are not the ones responsible for us. So we can see them innocent. We don't hold them responsible for the pain or suffering that comes to us. That is how this Agna helps us. Dadaji used to say, there's another aphorism, O Swain, I'm translation for Moa, you are the root cause of all your troubles. You are the root cause of all your troubles. In Gujarati says, Are Moa, Sagdi Upadhi no Moa Tuche. Whatever is happening to us, we are responsible. So stop the blame game. You are responsible. You can take corrective action now. Depending on the Gnan, we can take whatever corrective action we want. Because otherwise, if you constantly feel, oh, I am responsible for whatever bad is happening to me, I am the culprit, if that goes on too much, then a person may go into depression. Now, that should also not take place. You are responsible. That knowledge you have to use to stop blaming others or say they are the ones guilty or responsible for your misfortune. And you are still free to take all the vitrag or implement all the vitrag solutions that Dadaji has given us. So, Vyavasthit, we are the creators of Vyavasthit. And if you want to see how it really works in our day-to-day life, four things come together. Whenever anything is going to get executed, any event take place, Dadaji says that Dravya, Kshetra, Kala, and Bhav. Dravya means some media, Kshetra means some place, then Kala means time, and Bhav means our intent. When the fourth come together, an event takes place. Now we are talking of the present life discharge events that are going to occur. Fourth, and these are certainly happening all together simultaneously. We may be aware of it, we may not be aware of it, But this is just sharing of the knowledge of wisdom that how things work. To understand this, one typical example that Dadaji used to give. Supposing your hair has grown up and you want to go for a haircut. So you want to go for a haircut is your intent. You go to the barber shop. So that's the kshetra or the space. But for some reason, the barber is not there. There's a death in the family and it's closed down the shop early. So you're not able to have a haircut. What do? You come back and maybe go back out the next day. So next day you go back, you go to the shop, that is the kshetra or this place. Then you see the barber. But barber says, yes, sir, I will give you a haircut, but please wait. Let me finish the customer I'm attending. After that, your time. So we have three things: the intent, then we have the space, then we also have the barber, who is the media. But our time has not ripened because he's attending another customer. So after he finishes the customer and takes us, our time also has started. So when all the four come together, events take place. Now you will start with this knowledge, you will be able to observe as events unfold in front of you. You wanted to reach home very early after the job, but you got stuck in a traffic jam. So one of the evidence is not there. You want to do things. Sometimes everything falls in place. You can understand Dravya Kshetra Kardbo, everything came and things worked out. So this is just to understand, nothing much to be done. You can, if you know that one of the evidences is missing, you can learn to take it easy. Continue with your efforts. Don't give up. But you can put in your efforts with ease, in a relaxed frame of mind, with equanimity. That's the point. And at times, we feel, one question was asked that if we use all the Agnas, will it change our Vyavasthit? Vyavasthit doesn't change the whatever is going to happen to us. Whatever is going to happen, but we can reduce the impact it has on us. If someone uses foul language, then we get hurt. But if we separate and use the present day Agnas, that the seer is the Prakriti, it is saying to file number one. In relative viewpoint, really he is also Shuddhatma, I am also Shuddhatma. If that awareness comes at that point of time, the amount of bad words will come, but the effect it has on you will get reduced. So sometimes we are in deep trouble. We go to Gnani does a Vidhi, and worldly problems get solved. Now, has he solved it? No. That we approach him and he doing the Vidhi is also part of Vyavasthit. At times we do some mala, 3 mantra we say more, or we seek blessings of some deities and they help us. Now that we are in a position to do all that is also part of Vyavasthit. The deities, the Gnani or others are instruments who have helped us. This is just to understand on a global perspective, an overall way, okay, where Vyavasthit is, where our free will is. So do not stop all your normal efforts. All normal efforts should continue. The result, whatever comes, is then part of Vyavasthit. And normally, we have to use this knowledge or Agna after the events have occurred. However, there is one exception. At times, when someone says something which really troubles us, there we can use this in advance. For example, a palmist or an astrologer looks at our this thing, horoscope, or looks at our palm and says, I see a very bad accident coming in the future. Please be careful from period so and so. Now, what happens? If that is going to happen after 6 months, we start worrying about it right now. Oh, I'm going to meet with an accident. I'm going to meet with an accident. So be careful. At such times, just say, If it's going to happen in yourself, it will happen, otherwise it will not happen. I'll be alert, but don't worry about it. Or at times, someone threatens you. I will, I will kill you, or I will destroy you. I will do this and I will do that. And if such threats are a cause of disturbance, you can say, don't worry, nobody has the independent power to do anything. Nothing will happen beyond Vyavasthit, so take it easy. So under some trying situations, you can use it in advance. But as a rule, put in your best efforts, and the results are part of Vyavasthit. So I was just trying to, this was a few scenarios where we can use the third Agna, and it will help us to remain in equilibrium and settle accounts equanimously. Any questions from your end, please? No one? Oh, is it too heavy? Okay. Anyway, I suppose this should, yeah, anyone? Yes?
Yeah, Pulinanandji. So maybe not related to the topic of third Agna, but when you are caring about your kids and at certain age. So my question is, when the kids are growing, you as a parent, you have duties to make sure, take care of them, protect them, give them advice, everything. But once they are college level kids, right? They grow up. Then how do you change your attitude or change yourself to? Like you still want to help them, but at that point they want to have their own thing, right?
Yeah, a very valid question. Very valid question. It is true. Well, the Dadaji had just given a small piece of advice on that. As children grow up, especially when they become teenagers, 12, 15, 18, as they grow up, then gradually we have to treat them as friends and not as young siblings. I am the parent and you are my child and you have to do according to my wish. That has to gradually taper down as they grow up because their ego is also growing. So we have to deal them as we deal with a friend. How do we deal with a friend? We talk to it politely, we pursue, we motivate. We don't insist. Why? Because otherwise my friendship will get broken away. I lose a friend. So same approach has to be there with children. Try to explain to them, cajole them, goad them into doing things, and leave it. As a parent, try your best and then leave it, because they also have brought their Vyavasthit, and that will also play a part. But at the same time, we have to complete our role and duty as a parent equally well. So with that in mind, you have to do it. And some more tips about this can also come in from the fourth Agna. That if you take it as a file and as you want to do Sambhava Nikal, that will also help you in dealing with children.
Okay.
These are the two things.
Yeah, Jai Satsang.
Anybody? Yeah, Jai Sachin. Anybody else has anything to ask? Or anybody has any experience to share of any Purusharth done?
Pulinanandji, this is Pooja. My question is like more towards the third Agna of kind of associated with hurting someone's feelings or more related to speech. You see, you've already done something and you try to use the fourth Agna before coming into the circumstance, sambhave nikal karvano shakti apo. But even still, like something happens with the Vyavasthit and it still goes bad, like even though you've genuinely tried to prevent any harmful words from coming out. What is that?
Well, in that case, there are two things. One is remedy. Having spoken something which has hurt the other person, in spite of your intentions, and before coming into the situation, deciding not to hurt. If that still happens, then you have to take the corrective action and do pratikraman. File number 1 will do the pratikraman. Puja, Why have you said like this? Do Pratikraman. Because you have done Atikraman. Pratikraman is the apology prayer. So ask Puja to do that. That will have help in two ways. One, it will clear the hurt from the opposite person's mind to the person whom we have hurt. Number two, it will also strengthen your resolve that you don't want to repeat this in future. This is necessary because how do you prevent that happening in future? So we say, in the last sentence in the Pratikraman prayer is there, I resolve not to repeat this mistake. So that resolution and asking for strength is the one that will increase your awareness to enable you not to repeat the mistake in future while dealing with the same person. It may still happen, but this Pratikraman is something which will help you a lot. You understand? No? So this is the two corrective actions. And why it is happening, the thing that you have to keep for yourself is that your resolve or nischay was not strong enough to prevent this outburst in speech that has taken place. So you have to, as a corrective action, decide more strongly, more firmly, make your resolution more stronger. Next time, I just don't want to hurt. Let the episode be over. In your spare time, repeatedly, for a few times, repeat within yourself, I don't want to hurt this person. Definitely not, definitely not, definitely not. Dada, give me Shakti, give me Shakti, give me Shakti. By doing that, by asking for strength and firming up your resolution of not hurting the other person, will increase your awareness when the person comes in front of you, and you will be able to settle it in a much better manner.
Okay.
And this is true for all of us. This is true for all of us. Somewhere or other, we lose our calm because we have brought that tough thing. Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh is all that we have brought. So all those are going to come out. So what we can do is increase our awareness, our jagrati, to such an extent that it counterbalances whatever we have brought. So increasing awareness, asking for strength. These two are major purusharths which will help us in settling accounts, having an equanimous worldly dealings or vyavahar. That, I suppose, should answer the question.
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Good. Anybody else? Okay. So if we don't have any questions, we could stop the session here. We can just go off air and we could talk for some time.